Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show brought to you by Seguno and Postscript and AMP, and we are coming to you live Thursday, February 19th from an undisclosed location in the Austin, Texas area. And the rumors are true. I may have just been privy to the most exclusive event in e-commerce. Went down this morning. May or may not have been there. I was there, and we have got a jam-packed show for you today. Chubbies launches Cheekies. And is this a smart move for a classically menswear brand to launch head first into a ladies swimwear brand? We're going to talk about it. eBay has bought Depop from Etsy for a nice deal, really, a lot nicer than they could have gotten it in the past. What does that mean for the resale market? And is there some learnings here? Thrifting as gifting, is there some learnings for us to dig into? I think there is. And then lastly, Chili's Margarita of the Month Club. This is a loyalty thing that we should all take some lessons from. We are going to get into it as well. Rok Hladnik is going to join us from Flat Circle, and this guy is too mega brain for us to not dig into with him on meta ads, etc. We're going to have a great time. As always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here, sir.
Let's go, baby.
Let us go.
Let's go.
You know, Colin, the great thing about being live is that we can mix things up. We can mix things up as they come. And what I have just noticed is that Rok is already here. Is that the case, Carson? I believe Rok is with us now.
Sir.
And if he is here now, I think we should welcome him. Before you bring him in, there is a direct correlation. This is coming from us from Metab Bogle, knower of ball. There is a direct correlation between how much one media buyer complains, talks about Meta on Twitter, has the juice on what's happening now, fixing tweaks. Meta, where are you? There's a direct correlation between that and performance. And this guy's feed is gold. Him and David Herman always know. They're always ahead of the game. And we had to get this guy in here because there's a number of things we need to talk about. Rok, get inside of this show, sir. We need you. We need you.
Let's go.
Yes.
What an intro. Hey, guys.
Oh,
Rok, now I think that you are not in the United States right now. You are somewhere in Europe. Is that right?
Right. I'm right in the middle in Europe, in Slovenia.
You are in Slovenia.
Yes.
Wow. Now, Rok, is that why you are such a Luka Doncic fan? I mean, is there a connection there?
Oh, well, of course. Slovenia is a small country. Luka is my friend. I follow him everywhere. So.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right. And I want to tell you, Colin and I, we are fully on board with you, both feet, 10 toes down. You need to be running ads for Luka on his new Shopify store. We 100%. Want to do anything that we can to make that happen, sir.
I mean, whatever it takes, basically, right? I'm pretty good at this. Luka has a good brand, so
yeah,
we can only
I think
win.
So.
Yeah,
I think it's a match made in heaven. I was gonna cold email Mark Cuban. He famously does answer a few cold emails, so it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
Man,
Mark quoted me on X a couple of months ago.
Did he really?
Yeah, but after I told him a lot of bad things when Luka got traded, he's now ignoring me for some reason.
Just giving him feedback, and he's just reading like, dang, I gotta get back to this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I have probably like a 10,000 fire Nico tweets out, so
Wow, that is hilarious, man. Rok, I have been seeing you beat this drum on Twitter as of late, or X for our fancy friends. I have been seeing you beat the drum of Meta's audience network and why this thing is such a scam. Now, what I would love for those of our listeners who are not as deep in the trenches inside of ad accounts as you are, and I'd love if you would give our audience perspective. What is audience network? and why can you not trust the data that it is feeding you, and why you need to rid yourself of it immediately?
All right. So the scam word may be a little bit too much, but I use it for extra engagement, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. That said, like, it's still pretty bad. So the audience network is basically a set of placements. Meta now that calls this a channel that's like outside of the meta ecosystem. So it's not Facebook, it's not Instagram, it's not Messenger, it's not Threads. It's like third-party mobile apps, some mobile website, and some in-app videos. So basically, it's how Meta is expanding its reach, its placement, and lowering your CPMs. And up until September last year, everything was kind of fine, right? The traffic was cheap, the reach was kind of decent, you get some conversions out of it, and you can basically make some money, right? Then some bad things happened, some very weird things happened, right? So we started to notice in some brands that we manage, like high-spending brands, traffic coming from small towns in the middle of US, like with 5,000 population, we get like 20 clicks out of them. You know, like, what is this? Like VPNs, maybe bots, okay, maybe let's move over, right? So we were kind of MBD, no problem. It's not so much traffic, doesn't affect performance. Then fast forward a couple of weeks later, we started to basically figure out, hey, so something is kind of wrong, right? We have very high CTRs, very low CPCs, not a lot of spend, but something is kind of wrong in the metric. And then we start digging. And we basically saw that the audience network placement had like CTRs, which are like soft metrics, somebody who engages with your ads and click on it, were like 40% plus. Whoa. Usually they're like between 1 and 2, right?
Whoa.
And the traffic was really cheap, like 2 cents, right? Which is cheap. And then even if your spend is low on a macro level, this makes look your ad set like very well performing. So my friend Jess from Fireteam that you guys had a guest 2 weeks ago, I said to him, hey Jess, I'm sorry, but your creatives don't actually have this good CTR, right? Because of the audience network, it's inflating. He came back to me, but the ROAS is good. And I said, yes, of course, the ROAS is good. Anyway, back on the point. So that whole inflated metrics for like CTRs and CPCs was making the picture blurry. And we were digging. We basically saw that all the traffic coming from those small towns via like UTMs and the ad sets from where the traffic was coming was from the audience network. So basically low quality traffic, shit quality traffic that's never going to convert. And on some accounts, it made, I don't know, 1% of total ad spend. On other accounts, 10% of total ad spend. So yeah, turn it off if you see bad performance. But be prepared to remake all your creative reports for the last 5 months.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
confirm it's a bug. We're fixing it slowly-ish and so on. But yeah, I'm on the safe side. We turn this off on the account level.
And are you seeing when people are launching new creative ad sets, et cetera, audience network is automatically turned on? Is that happening at times and people have to go in and make sure that you got it turned off?
Well, yeah, as always with Meta, right? Even if you turn it off on the ad set level and have pre-selected as turned off, same as with Advantage Plus, they like to sneakily enable all these little things, to make your CPMs look better because, hey, we have more users on the platform. You're not paying more, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we turn it off and its performance is better.
Wow.
I think a lot of agency operators might have said, hey, numbers look good. Let's not touch it. You know, it's looking juicy.
You know, if you zoom out and look on a macro level, everything kind of makes sense, right? But then if you're digging and seeing and so on, I mean, there were also a lot of tweets and reports of people seeing like very low CPMs, very high CTRs, but they didn't go to the breakdowns. Nobody thought about it. So if you go down the rabbit hole till the end, you're going to see that it's like Android devices, audience network placements for very specific US towns. So if somebody from Meta is looking, I gave you all the info you need. If you're ignoring my emails I've been sending you for the last couple of weeks. So
that's amazing. Have you dived into Manus, what they just released? Have you dove into that at all and played around with that?
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I am super fascinated that they just decided to basically clone, and they're just like, cool, I'm gonna clone it and deploy it. And I'm very curious any feedback anyone has for users of Manus, and I'm sure it's very good. But it's obviously a clone.
Well, tell me this philosophically, Rock. I think about a lot of these new developments inside of Meta, the automatic optimizations.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these new things, they often scare me. I'm so hesitant anytime there is a new thing, especially if they're saying it's going to be the best. I'm always hesitant. Do you think similarly, or are you always no? Hey, we want to try the brand newest thing and let's roll this out. And what do you think philosophically as far as it comes to your agency?
Philosophically, well, that's a very deep question. But I'm on both sides. On one side, I'm scared because when Meta releases something, it usually breaks everything down, and you have to double check all the settings, all the backend settings, and blah blah blah. But then at the same time, some of the new things they release, like dynamic ads, partnership ads, right listing, those are all very good good tools to use. So you need to kind of embrace it, understand how Meta works. Hey, we just release stuff, things are going to get broken, you have to live with it, and eventually we're going to fix it. Also, the releases and the fixes are coming in waves to your ad account. So one ad account may have it from day one, the others may have to wait for like 6 months and so on. But it's the game they're playing, and we're here because of Zuckerberg. So I just follow.
We are. Yeah. Thank you, boss. Yeah. We are here because of Zuck. Colin, my gripe, and perhaps this gets into my love-hate relationship, but it's really love. But my gripe is that a lot of times when it comes to, hey, things happening with the audience network, or hey, perhaps this new optimization actually is all it's cracked up to be, all we projected it to be right now. Things are breaking. We don't get communication from Meta specifically. You have to follow people like Rock and David Herman to be at the cutting edge. That's part of my gripe. I mean, do you see the same thing, Colin?
Absolutely. It's insane the level of transparency that's coming from them, and then they're just like, yeah, sorry, it's broken. Yeah, it's been broken for a couple of months now. I'm so sorry. And then it just kind of squeaks out, and then you find out from these folks. I just wish there was a different level of communication that was from them, where we were more privy, where it seems like there's only a small subsect of people that actually know about this, unfortunately.
Rock, who's your inside guy? Sure.
Who's your inside guy? Yeah.
You've got an inside guy at Meta.
It's me and David.
That is the inside guy.
Yeah, like I have this advantage. I'm in an earlier time zone, so if they release changes in the morning, I'm the first one to notice, and I ping him. If they release them in the evening, I then wake up and have 20 messages from David. Everything is broken. So
oh my gosh,
yeah,
you got to follow Rock and David. Rock, give me your view. Just transitioning a little bit here. Give me your view on the AppLovin kerfuffle as of late. There's a lot of people that have had a great experience, brand side, agency side. There's also plenty of people on the other side. Hey, we're not a fan. We did not get a great experience. I'll just tell you personally, I've had a great experience with the platform, and money is going up, not just numbers in a dashboard, but at the bottom line inside the P&L. Give me your perspective as you've stepped into this and waded into it. What do you think of AppLovin?
Yeah, I mean, what I think a lot of people kind of do wrong, like you firstly have to understand your funnel and where different channels are the best in the step of the funnel or the customer journey, right? Before you even start testing and make some hypothesis, hey, so this is a bottom type of funnel, middle, or like pure top of funnel perspective, right? After that, obviously, you need the right creatives to make your audience engage at that step of their journey and so on. And then you start testing. And the best way to do it is kind of to not be upset by it. So kind of reading the newsletters, the tweet, oh my God, it's working really well, or it should work for me as well. It's a bottom funnel channel and so on. Just kind of, okay, cool. This is my assumption. This is how I usually test a new channel. I'm going to launch ads and then just basically what I call follow the money. So follow your P&L, right? See what happens. Look at the numbers. If the number makes sense, like make as many tests as possible to prove that you're either right or wrong at what's kind of working, or where in your journey AppLovin can play a big role. And it's different for brands. Like some brands were having very good success both at prospecting, retargeting. Some brands is good just for retargeting. So yeah, but you have to test it.
Yeah, it's frustrating to me that every platform doesn't just automatically work for every product, but I think that's sage advice.
We got pretty lazy because Meta, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
At least to a certain degree, it's a lot easier than all the other platforms. And then everybody thinks, okay, cool, if I know how to do media buying on Meta, I'm going to do everything else. But that's not true. Like Meta's algorithm is very efficient at finding new customers. It's really good for testing all sorts of things and so on. Other channels, especially when they're in development, like for example, AppLovin 1 year ago, it's completely different than what it is right now. So, and things keep evolving. So you need to have this always be testing mentality.
Rok, I appreciate that because I took this stance with Chris when we first talked about it, where I said, you just have to test it. I'm so tired of these people just poo-pooing it. And it's like, okay, cool. Did you do a holdout test? And you're like, no, it's not going to work. And I'm like, well, you didn't do a holdout test, dummy. You actually have to test the platform first. Like, you're coming. I want to see the data. This is all I care about. Are there any platforms that you personally are really excited about aside from Meta and maybe AppLovin, where you're just like, I'm really excited for how they're developing the kind of that ad platform in 2026?
I mean, obviously Meta, it's the king, queen, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you're spending $500,000, you have to double that number and you have potential. So that's the number one. AppLovin is definitely something to monitor, keep an eye on. TikTok shops, TikTok, also organic TikTok. It's something we're doing. We're also seeing brands who are kind of like 9-figure brands who are spending a lot of money on Meta, doing like connected TV, programmatic TV, and so on. So it's very different. But if there's one channel I'm really excited, not really. I'm looking forward to seeing ads in all these ChatGPTs and how that goes down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we are too. Yeah, we are too. Yeah, hopefully the buy-in is a lot lower than it's been reported so far. They keep lowering it down.
I mean, the CPMs are going to be low, right? So we're going to see.
Hopefully.
Rok, tell me, and I know you guys, you have an expansive service offering. I mean, you're not just operating in D2C. You're helping B2B. You've got consumers and brands in every space that you've worked with, and you're not just running ads. You have a wide service offering. Tell me how you see AI changing operations inside of your business, the role of the media buyer, what it means for creative. Just give us kind of Google Earth out, zoomed out, larger perspective on how this is changing the nature of your work and the workflows, et cetera, and what you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, it changed a lot, right? It's a huge add-on. It simplified a lot of reporting, a lot of things that we, had automated via macros, Zapier, or other tools, right? Now we're just like one click away. So we put a lot of effort into automating like all the reporting, getting actionable items out of these, creative iterations, ideas, and so on. So that helped definitely kind of with all this mass stuff on a macro level to simplify it, like just being one click away. And that's huge, right? But I'm mostly focusing on seeing, okay, cool, this is the AI thing. It's got to go one way. There are like trillions being invested into it. I'm more focused on, okay, cool, what's the human role going to be?
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing? I was in LA like 2 weeks ago, and I was with one of my partners driving in a Waymo, right? And we were like, oh God, this is so clean, this is so smooth, the car is driving fast. And he was like, you know what the taxi drivers are doing now? And I'm like, no, what are they doing? He was like, they're cleaning Waymos.
Oh, wow.
Right, at the end of the shift, right? So I'm now wondering, cool, okay, if AI is going to do everything, what is our role going to be? And that's what I'm kind of thinking. So what is the future of the media buyer, right? Or what is the future of the creative, the graphic designers, and so on? That, a lot of them are going to be jobless, especially those small and medium. There's a huge filter that's being created. Like if you're a very mediocre type of guy or just a subcontractor for button pushing, you are already without a job. So you have to think kind of 2 steps ahead. And obviously anything that kind of has strategy that's related to client trust, to what are the next steps that the business should be taking, that's where the future of kind of human interaction is going to be with the help with AI. And for media buyers, I see them kind of going two paths, either becoming like creative strategists, meaning working with the creative teams and in between speaking with the media buyers, algorithms, and taking everything into consideration, business model, blah, 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 or being kind of the treasury manager, meaning, hey, cool, this is me, Rok, Chris, I'm trusting you with one of my $1 million, right? I'm not sure I'm going to trust AI with $1 million and not look at it. I'm going to want to have somebody with experience to trust with that money to kind of spend it or allocate it in the best efficient way.
Wow. I think that's an insightful phrase for the role of media buyers and perhaps increasingly their role in the future. But I think even right now, really, I do think this is an apt description of what really is the role of the media buyer largely in our mind. It's not just, hey, set some budgets, upload ads. No. It's, I am entrusting you with this amount of money. Here is the target for the kind of return based on these metrics that we need. Please go and allocate wisely. And hey, if you can get me more, then we all win. I think this is a really apt description of the role of the media buyer. It's more of a treasury manager.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you're just a button pusher or subcontractor, then you're already without a job because there are a lot of tools that can do that for you and tweak the budgets up and down based off, 3 days performance or whatever. But the moment you're deeply involved with the brand, with what their goals are, forecasting, business development, and everything else, right? You're taking all of that in consideration and then spend the money in the most efficient way or kind of make the most revenue as possible. And that's more than just the work in the ad account and just tweak budgets.
Yeah, wow. Absolutely.
It sounds more like it's approaching, you're becoming a steward. So you're like the steward of scale at that point, where we are bestowing this capital onto you, and we're hoping that you're going to be the steward of the capital and scaling the capital as you get entrenched with our business, and we trust you.
Yeah, like a fund manager, a treasury manager. And this is how I look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rok, tell me about this. There's a few sides of this as far as advertising is concerned, and specifically on the creative piece, creative diversity, different angles, and then, people are coming at this different ways. There is, hey, use AI to make 1,000 ads for you tonight while you're eating dinner, deploy, and let's see how it works. There's also another angle. No. Let's really focus. Let's keep the human mind and hands involved, and let's make works of art that we, based on our experience, feel are truly going to be bangers. Let's make that kind of bet. How do you approach this? What's your mindset when it comes to creative diversity and how to deploy that in an effective way?
So for max engagement, I could say immediately, no, go AI, forget humans, just push buttons and make 1 billion of creatives instantly, right? But honestly, I think the way to go is kind of in the middle, right? I foresee a future where content creators are going to have a verified human check mark, right? So you're going to know this is a human being telling you a story or trying to sell you something and blah, blah, blah. And then on the other hand, you're going to have tons of AI bots making those routine purchases for you that are based just on some technical attributes or whatever, just one click away, right? Anything else, anything that has any sort of emotions or stuff that you are putting out yourself that you want to kind of have an experience from somebody else, there's still going to be a lot of human interactions. And so, the truth or how I see it is definitely in between. And also a big thing, like creative diversification, right? Or diversified. A lot of people misunderstood this. Like they think, okay, I need 1,000 creatives. No, you just need 10, but they need to be very different.
That's
right?
a great point.
So it's like 10 different concepts, 10 different angles, but they need to be heavily different. And Andromeda and a lot of brands that are having challenges post Andromeda updates is just because of that. They've been printing the same creative all and over again, telling the same story all over again. You're basically just limiting the bubble of the customers you can kind of touch and speak with. So,
wow.
Colin, I know Rock is a busy man, and I really appreciate you making the time to join us on the show, Rock. Before he gets out of here, I really want to ask him, like, who does he see in the space, either brands that he is working with or others that he feels are crushing it in this regard when it comes to creative. But before I ask him that, is there anything else that you have in your tank that you want to get his insight on before we get there?
Yeah, for sure. I think just one of the big things is, what AI tools have you been seeing that you use personally that have basically revolutionized your workflow? I think one for me that I always tell Chris he needs to pick up is Super Whisper or Whisper Flow. And this has basically revolutionized my workflow completely. Are there any in the past, maybe, months, 6 months that you're just like, I can't even imagine my workflow without this anymore?
I mean, we build a lot of workforce on cloud for the agency reporting for the day-to-day stuff. So that's if you have any sort of like repetitive task, repetitive reporting, data that you can import or connect via APIs and so on, that's definitely the way to do it. But yeah, I've been switching between ChatGPT and Gemini for whatever question I have, business related or non-business related, right? I think a lot of psychologists are going to run out of jobs because like people are fixing their problems with ChatGPT and having discussion one-on-one about their life choices, right? But all the tools like Whisper is also a great one. So it's definitely worth to test and see. And I'm pretty excited on what's coming and can't wait to test.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your perspective on that. And you've brought this up several times. Hey, you got to go this direction and upskill yourself lest you get left behind. I think that's very actual. And I truly believe it for what we do in marketing every day and in every way. If you are entry role, then man, it's harder to get that thing. And if you've been at it for a few years and you're still, call it bottom 30% inside of your org, there's a good chance that what you do could get relegated to an agent that does it with the right structure that the boss wants, and et cetera, et cetera. So I appreciate your sense of warning on that. I think it's actual, and I think it's true.
I call this like the great filter, right? A lot of people are going to be just filtered out, and
Wow. That's what Chris and I have talked about previously, where we think that it's going to be so much harder, where I always use the analogy where it would be crazy for you to come into a workplace and not bring your laptop. And they'd be like, hey man, we use laptops in the workplace. What are you doing? And I think the same thing is going to be with AI in like 3 years from now. People are going to be like, dude, obviously we're using AI. What are you doing? Why are you manually doing all this stuff? I think it's going to get there. I don't know if it's 2 years from now. I don't know if it's 3 years, but it's going to be really quick.
Yeah, like where is your agent, right?
Or where's your agent? What's your agent's name?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or your 10 or 12 agents.
12 agent. Yeah. Who's your bundle of agents here?
Rock, before you go, man, I'd love to get your perspective. Any brands that come to mind that you feel are really cracking it as far as creative diversity and what they're doing on the paid side? Anything come to mind, top of mind for you?
A lot of brands, but I'm not going to name a brand. I'm going to name the category, right? Like food supplements, right? They're all selling the same thing. It's powder with something, right? Usually from 2-3 manufacturers, which are at the end the same. They have high margin, and 70% of that margin goes into marketing. So they are very creative. The only thing that differentiates between themselves is the creatives, the communication. So if you're looking for inspiration, you just need to follow them as many as possible. Look for those who have like content creators, not influencers, like forget the fancy brands with fancy names. That's a different story. But look for content creators and what type of content is resonating well with the audience on the other side. And that's a very good example.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Rock, we appreciate you making the time and joining the show, sir, especially so late in the day over there in Slovenia. Man, where can people find you, follow you, talk with you, work with you? Where can they find you on the internet?
Find me on Twitter or X, how the fancy guys call it, or on LinkedIn. But yeah, on X, I'm there 24/7.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, man, we appreciate you coming. We look forward to talking with you again. We'll have you back. He's locked in.
I could only imagine the text thread between him and David, just night and day updates between each other on meta ads, and you're just like, just to be a bug on the wall in that chat would be insane.
Yeah, those guys they're so deep in the weeds
They're
that
so deep.
they know when things are happening before everybody else does, and so truly everybody needs to go follow both of those gentlemen on X and Twitter. You need to.
Oh yeah. I feel like they're gonna they'll find out about stuff that accidentally gets published. They're like, oh, we actually didn't mean for anyone to find out about that. Okay, we got to roll this back.
Hey, Matab said it. The more your media buyer complains about Meta on Twitter, the better they are. That's what he said. And those guys they've always got a bone to pick. What is this going on inside of the ads manager today?
Yeah.
Before we move forward to our next story, let's talk about AMP. If you cannot explain how your business is doing in a sentence or two, a few words, your key metrics, how are we tracking toward forecast? What's our CAC? What is our LTV on this specific cohort? If you can't say that in a concise way and answer that question quickly, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. That's why we love AMP, and specifically their favorite tool of mine, Lifetimely. One easy, pleasy dashboard where all of the questions about your business can be concisely, quickly answered. Go to useamp.com. You can test drive this thing for yourself. Use Lifetimely, get all the other tools gratis for free. And they have got incredible things coming out with their AI tool within the next, I think we're coming up on 18, 17 days now, where it will be prompting you, friend, about, hey, test this offer, cut this product. Hey, why don't we do this inside of this cohort, etc.? They are going to make it easy for you to scale with confidence in 2026. Take it easy on yourself. Save yourself a few headaches. Go to useamp.com today. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, our lead story that I think we must dig into is Chubbies has launched a women's swimwear brand. A women's swimwear brand. Chubbies announces the launch of Cheekies, its new women's swim brand. And I think that we should read some of this and comment and talk about it as we go along. Chubbies, the weekend-centric lifestyle apparel brand within the Solo Brands portfolio, today launches Cheekies, its new women's swim brand. Cheekies brings effortless energy to women's swimwear with styles designed to support fit, flexibility, and freedom for the girls' trip that finally escaped the group chat. The launch of Cheekies coincides with Chubbies' 15th anniversary, marking a new chapter for the brand. Chubbies president and co-founder Rainier Castillo tapped Kit Garton, a 13-year Chubbies brand leader and senior vice president commercial, to co-found and lead Cheekies. Cheekies is a natural next step, meeting that demand with swimwear created with women at the center, coming from their background with Chubbies. Now, here is my question. Is this a natural next step? Is it? And the reason that I have to say it is because it is not called Chubbies. It's not. It is a totally new category with a new name. Chubbies, we've had Kyle Hensey on the show, okay, classically aimed at the bro, the frat bro, the tech bro. Guy's got a little extra change in his pocket. He wants to be fun and look great at the pool, having an awesome time, living life, etc. If this was a truly natural next step, wouldn't the thing be called Chubbies? Okay, it is not. It is not. And it makes me wonder. I mean, obviously, I think they picked the right woman to lead this thing. Kit, she's been inside of Chubbies for 13 years. So she goes back to days of yore. They have an all-women's team that's leading this thing. The website's fun. It's cool. It's pretty. It's all hitting. But I have some concern. I do. It is a totally new space that to me is largely entirely different from their previous experience in Chubbies. Do you think this is a natural next step, Colin?
I think it's a natural next step, and I think it's going to be an absolute slam home run. A couple years ago, I crafted a little idea in my head about I would love to launch a women's swimwear brand because of so many reasons that it would absolutely crush. You have to think about the actual product itself. Margins are absolutely incredible. Super lightweight, very easy to ship. You also have Chubbies here, so it's a very visual product. You're going to get people hooked a ton. The amount of influencers that you can push out for this product, unbelievable. It's basically an endless pipeline of influencers for this. And I crafted this kind of narrative, and I was like, if you really wanted to do this, there's a really easy way to push this out. They already have all of the brand insights from Chubbies. They can just transition that over. I think this is going to be an absolute home run. The only thing I don't like about it, and I think this is just them figuring it out, is there's no subscription piece to it. I love a subscription piece where you get a new swimwear every single month, and you subscribe, and you get a mystery design.
Yeah,
you get a new one. You get maybe an every 3 months. They get a new one. You get a half off, something like that. We talked to Matthew. He said 3 months is a sweet spot. You get a fresh, cool, awesome swimwear. I love it.
Yeah, because everyone needs that in the middle of February. You know, they need that fresh delivery of swimwear. Well, I'll just say this. I'll say this. And I think the reasons that you delineated are good. Yeah. They are. Do you want to go to battle with Strawberry Milk Mob, bro? You want to.
Absolutely.
You're going to lose all day long, bro.
With the legacy brand that is Chubbies, there's so much brand equity already built into it that they can beat that and lap them so quickly.
No, that
I am so convinced.
That is the point, is that there is no brand equity. This is Cheekies. It's not Chubbies. It's not Chubbies.
Cheekies by Chubbies.
No. You go to the website. No, you go to the website, everything is Cheekies. And I get it.
Name's great.
I get like you want to link like, hey, we've got all this experience here. This is a natural next step. I get it why you want to frame it that way. Yeah. But people aren't going to find, hey, I want Chubbies swimwear. They're not. Sure. They're not. And they've been aimed at men forever. Now, what they're hoping and framing this is like, hey, the women who have been buying Chubbies for their man, now they can buy Cheekies for them. I get it. I get it too. I think that's a fair frame, but there's a reason why they can't call it Chubbies. There's a reason. Okay. And bro, the Milk Mob, they are cracked. They are, I mean, those people are assassins. They're assassins, man.
They are assassins. They're good. It's a completely different demographic. I would argue that. It's a completely different demographic. The name is absolutely amazing.
It's Cheekies, a great name. It is.
The amount of branding you could do around just the name alone. Oh, and by the way, you're completely missing the fact that the entire team around this is just killers that have already been in this thing for forever. You want to bet against that?
Well, I'm just saying, bro.
I think they should get on the show.
I think they should come on the show. I think they should come on the show. But just remember, Colin McGuire. Colin McGuire was on here saying, hey, the next generation of D2C killers, they are eating the older generation's lunch, just like Colin McGuire and his partner Ryan did 10 or 15 years ago. It is a natural cycle. It's evolution. And so I think you make a good point about it's a different age group. Okay. 100%. I think it's fair. Maybe. But the Milk Mob.
There's a playbook here. There's a playbook here. There's an the Abercrombie and Finch creator playbook we just talked about. There's a playbook here that could be extremely effective, and they don't have to be the Milk Mob, is what I'm saying. You know, Abercrombie and Finch doesn't have to be the Milk Mob, but they can buy 1,000 Milk Mob minis and be totally fine.
Those are the Milk Mob minis are, I mean, that's tough to find. I mean, the way they've got that family and they're in there, they're barstoolish, you know, they're all like creating their own content, and it's like you want to watch it, it's entertaining, all the things.
Yeah.
Oof. Tough to dethrone. I think the Milk Mob's only going up and to the right. But you make some good points. We should have the Cheekies team on the show. I do think great name, great branding, great take. I love it. But I don't know if it's the natural next step from Chubbies. I don't know.
I'm ready for it.
I don't know. Okay, let's move forward here. eBay eBay is buying Depop from Etsy for 1.2 Bs. Am I getting this right? 1.2
in cash.
In cash.
Cash.
In cash.
Cash.
Now, I think that when Etsy originally bought Depop, I think they paid more. Is that right? I think
that's right.
That's what I was hearing in the comments. And so this actually may be kind of like technically like a $400 million like lower price than what they paid for it. But nevertheless, I think this underscores big time how much value there is in resale right now. And I'm going to read this paragraph that they have put out with this. Thrift and pre-owned items are officially acceptable gifts now. This is from Modern Retail. Modern Retail reports growing consumer acceptance, and you can move forward to our next one here, Carson. Growing consumer acceptance of secondhand goods as gifts, particularly among Gen Z and younger millennials who view vintage and pre-owned as premium, not cheap. The stigma is dead. Why this matters. This fundamentally changes resale economics. If secondhand can play in the gifting market, it unlocks massive new revenue streams for resale platforms and brands with circular programs. Gifting represents 20 to 30% of annual retail sales. Bringing resale into this conversation is a category expansion moment. Now, the year of Thriftmas, this article is from December, but I find it very appropriate and relevant inside of this moment where eBay is buying Depop from Etsy. And I know we all want to have a luxury brand with giant margins, but there's value here on the lower end of the spectrum. There is value. That is why Goodwill is crushing. That's why eBay is buying Depop, especially with younger generations. There is an opportunity for one to make a bag. Make a bag. And I think it's appropriate for what Rok was talking about earlier. Let's say you are a B player. It's okay. It's okay. Most of us are B players. Relax. Most of us are not A players. Okay. It's a bell curve. Okay. We all live on a bell curve. Most of us are B players. If you're sitting and you're kind of stuck inside of the lower half of an organization and you see, actually, I do think my job could be automated away. Why wouldn't you get into the resale game? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you find a way to buy a pallet, okay, on Goodwill's back-end website? Why wouldn't you find a way to go thrifting, get on Whatnot, spin up a website? There's a great example of a hat company here. I think it's called Snagged. And I think they're here in Austin. They sell vintage hats. Now, they make their own hats too now, but originally their whole business was just selling thrifted hats. They are crushing. Okay. Now, they've been at it for several years, but why wouldn't a lot of operators who are looking for a new opportunity, maybe they're stuck inside of an org, why wouldn't they get into the resale game and find a way in? Is that crazy, Colin?
Absolutely not. And off of that, I have to tell you about one of my addictions.
Please.
One of my addictions is very similar to this, where I am looking at eBay and finding vintage lifetime pieces that I'm going to keep for the rest of my life that are vintage and kind of pre-owned. And I'm grabbing those at maybe a 50% deal on that. But there's a ton out there on eBay where it's like, you can get this piece that you're going to have for the rest of your life, a piece that you can pass down to your kids or your grandkids, something that's really well made, something that hopefully is made in the US and incredible and still is going to be a timeless type of thing. You know, we talked about the coffee maker. That's going to last for forever. That's one of those things where we'll probably see that on eBay, you know, people reselling those because it is standing the test of time. It's built really well. People want to pass it down. It's a really incredible piece. I love this so much. And I think this is also kind of saying how the consumer is thinking about value right now. It's how am I buying? We no longer want fast fashion, the thing that's going to break down in 2 weeks. We want that long-term piece.
You know, an interesting point that the article mentioned and that you are bringing up here from your own experience is that thrifted, secondhand, vintage, this is not just like, oh, I got something cheap. No. this can be properly framed, truthfully framed as premium, vintage, one of a kind, something that's going to last a lifetime, already has, is going to again. And I read this article that made very appropriate points about how oftentimes the upper class, the elites, and the working class will often break the rules of fashion, how one designs one's home. And it's the middle class that is stuck with the typical ranch house, all white house, matching couch sets. What do you see in a working class home? Sometimes you see stuff grandma gave to you.
Yeah.
Okay. When you walk into an upper class home, what do they have? They have something from grandma's era that does not neatly match everything else. They have purposefully picked out vintage pieces from decades of yore. And it's amazing how sometimes both of those sectors of society actually, quote, quote, break the same fashion, typical design rules. And so I think there is an opportunity to still get one-of-a-kind pieces, vintage. Actually, it's thrifted, but then framed in the right way. And you've still got plenty of margin on that bad boy.
Also thinking about timeless pieces too. A great example of a timeless piece is a Brooks Brothers white button-down shirt. That is a crazy.
That's what I am wearing. That is what I am wearing.
It's a crazy high-quality item. I can promise you 50 years from now, you will still want to wear that. It's incredible. It holds up super well. It was popular 20 years ago. It's going to be popular 50 years from now. It always looks good. You can do so much with it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But those are the kind of pieces that I'm talking about, where it is like, this is going to stand a generation, and you can also give that down. And it's just how you should be thinking about stuff right now.
I want to make it clear to everyone who's listening right now. I don't just have one shirt that I wear every day. I don't just have one. I just bought several of the same kind. And I love it.
You wash it. You wash it every night. I get it, dude.
Well, you know, I rotate them out and then I take them to the dry cleaners. That's what I do.
Okay.
You know, that's what I do. But this is, you know, a little tangential here, but this is like the mindset of the male buyer. Hey, if I find
100%. Something
that's good and I like it, then I'll buy it and I'll just keep buying that because I like it. You know, that is what happens, where I think females will switch things up, test things out a lot more.
Yeah.
Shout out to the makers of my shirt. Okay. Before we move to our next story, we should talk about Postscript. You know, the wonderful thing about Postscript is that they are radically, obsessively focused on one thing and one thing only. That is SMS. And that is why they can get outsized results that you will not see with other partners that you work with. I know a lot of you have a kind of solution that does 5 or 6 or 7 other things for you right now. Postscript, on average, when people make the switch to just do SMS with them, that's all they do. On average, people see a plus 22% increase in revenue. Why? Why is that, Chris? It's because when you obsess on one thing, you get outsized results. Now, that is not what happened with me when I made the switch to Postscript. I made a whole lot more than 22%. Okay, we went from making very little to almost no money getting on Postscript, and then inside of a year being a top 1% account on the entire platform, qualitatively, quantitatively, all the things. Now, what did I do? I got on Postscript, I listened to what they said, and I implemented it. And then monies went up and to the right, and I looked like a big brain marketer, baby. Lots of pats on the back. That's what I want for you. Go to postscript.io/SMS-benchmarks, and you will get my vertical, my kind of company, our revenue band, what's normal, and how can I get this up and to the right? Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. This next story, I want to underline with a big red marker because I love it. Number one. And number two, I think there's a lot for e-commerce brands to take away from this thing. What are you talking about, Chris? I am talking about the one and only Chili's Margarita of the Month Club, baby.
Let's go.
Chili's Margarita Club of the Month is a real thing, okay? They are continually making a new Margarita for people to come in and purchase and buy and drink. And what have they released in addition to this, Chris, that is relevant to what I am doing in my life, selling widgets on the internet? Look at this apparel drop. Look at it. It is unreal. Carson's going to pull this up for us. I mean, we've got like bowler button-ups.
Oh my gosh.
We've got sweaters. We've got hats. We've got hats on hats and fanny packs and keychains. I mean, look at this. Look at this
polo. That's awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Great polo.
And just to underline this, you do actually have to join. You do. You actually have to join. You don't have to join to buy the merch. Okay. You can buy the merch if you're not part of the club, but you do actually have to join the club. And let me tell you what you have to do to join the club. You give your email and SMS. You can bring us back together here, Carson. You give them your email and SMS, okay, and you are part of the club. Okay, what I love about this is that this entire tactic, it's simply a route by which they can get your information. That is what they want. What do they want at the end of the day? Do they want you to spend $20 on being able to buy the apparel? No. You can buy the apparel even if you don't sign up or whatever. They want to get your info, man. That is what they want, so that they can text you and remind you, come and drink this margarita on Friday afternoon. I love this so much because, number one, it's unique, it's creative. Number two, it's outside of their wheelhouse for their typical product. Number three, it's such a good tactic for getting your customers information if they have not given it to you already. It's not just 10% off, okay? It's not just a free bowl of chips salsa. It's a membership in the club of Margarita of the Month. Also, here's this awesome swag. And look at this like weird, funny, creative that we have developed alongside with it. Before we watch that, I do think we should watch this because it's hilarious. Colin, do you agree? I love this.
I absolutely love this. I mean, you know that I am huge on getting customer data as quickly as physically possible. And so I'm huge on this. I think this is a great idea. I also, one point that you didn't make is this is also very well done. So there's a bad way to do this and make it look not great. You could do cheap merch and just make it look kind of sloppy. This is really well done. And that is kind of the entire tie-in of the whole thing, where the merch is actually incredible. You want to talk about it. It's very visual. It's really in the quote unquote zeitgeist of the now, fashionably. And on top of that, you're getting data. And you know I love data. You know I love the data. So I love the data. So this is great. This is a home run for them. Good on their team.
I think too, I'll just let everybody know, okay? Chili's is my favorite haunt inside of my little town. It is, okay?
Wow.
It is. It is my favorite place to go. Now, Chili's.
I'm an Applebee's. Applebee's is so great. What are we talking about?
I mean, I know. But I'll say this. There are two restaurants that are perennially, continually, always at the top of fast casual. Number one is Texas Roadhouse. Number two is Chili's. Always.
Oh, gosh.
It's the same. I mean, for several years now. Okay. And do I always want to go to Chili's? Yes, I do. I want to always go every weekend. I want to go to Chili's and eat that $10 burger with my free chips and salsa and my blah, 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 blah with all of my kids. I want to do that every single weekend. If you give me an excuse, like now I'm a part of like some membership and I'm a club member, and now you give me cool swag and oh yeah, I'm a member, baby. I'm gonna roll in here and I'm gonna get the Margarita of the Month. I mean, next level. I didn't need the excuse, but now you gave me the excuse. I'm a member of the club. I've got to go. I gotta go. And I mean, you know, I'm paying my dues, right? I got to go and participate. I'm a club member. That's why I love this. And I agree with you. Beautifully done. Let's watch this ad. Let's watch the creative they've developed for this. Top tier in my mind. Play it for us, Carson.
Margarita Club.
Exclusive. Members only. Join.
Going.
Branded clothing wear.
Going.
Chilies?
Margaritas. Get some sweet.
Triple dippers? Chilies, Margarita.
Off the
Vibes.
Vibes.
Club.
The commercial is over.
See
The
you
commercial
at Chili's
is
Margarita
over.
of
That's
the Month
great.
Club.
That's great.
Okay, it's weirdly wonderful. It's weirdly wonderful. And I love everything about it. They've got this like 90s, early 2000s kind of European rave weird thing going on. And then they've got your average American Joe who's like, Chili's, triple dipper, end of commercial. See you at Margarita Club. I think it's just excellent.
It's so good. It's like they have all the models of Balenciaga and then one guy from down the road.
Yeah.
And it's like, what does it look like when we put them in a commercial together? It's like, oh, this is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Weirdly wonderful.
Weirdly wonderful. It's amazing.
I'm here for it. So takeaways. Hey, get creative as far as getting information from people. Get creative. It doesn't just have to be a steep discount.
And make it well done. You know, if you giving up that info is a big thing, but make it a well done thing, and people will gladly give you the info.
Yeah. Add something that's tangential to your company.
Yeah.
Chili's is not going to succeed or fail based on their merch sales. Okay.
Right.
It's totally outside of their box, but endears their customers to them more, makes them feel special. I'm a part of the club now. And now I can text you about the deals that I want to text you. The point is I want to text you. That's the point. Give me your information. And they didn't have to give away any margin. They didn't have to give away like, hey, here's 20% off every meal for when you come in to visit. They didn't have to give away anything. And they crushed.
I love it.
Before we move to our last batch of stories, let's talk about Seguno. Seguno, ladies and gentlemen, is the only marketing suite that lives entirely inside of Shopify. What's that mean? Your email, your pop-ups, your banners, your reviews, it's all in the same place that you already work and play. And why is that important? It means your data is safe. Your Shopify data is the actual data. You don't have to rely on some duct-taped integration that you hope actually factually represents what you're trying to do inside your segmentation on your email and your performance there and what's happening inside of Shopify. We just had CEO Chris on the show, and he was goated in his mindset and view and why this is so important. Now, Shopify thought this was so important that they gave Seguno the 2024 Build App of the Year. This is email 3.0. And one-click integrations, actual human help. If you don't have a full-time email marketer on your team, Seguno is built for you. Lean teams with big aspirations. You go to seguno.com. They will give you a free trial. If you tell them Colin and I sent you, they will increase that free trial to 30 days. Go to seguno.com, test drive that baby. Save yourself a few headaches, make more money. They also integrate with PostScript. Nicely done. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Okay, this story comes to us from Twitter, and I don't know what to think of this. I literally don't. I don't have any answers. I only have more questions. Okay, we should read this. It starts with Meta Girl in Austin who owes $200K on credit cards and hasn't paid a single dollar of interest in over 5 years. Great hook. Okay, I'm hooked. I want to read what's happening here. Thought she was full of it. She pulled up a color-coded Google sheet, walked me through it. The math actually checks out. She might be the smartest person I've ever met or the most reckless, probably both. The play is stupid simple. Once you see it, she takes $200K in 0% APR business cards, uses the money for her real estate business. Month 10, before the 0% promo expires, she applies for a new round of 0% cards at different banks, gets approved, does a balance transfer from the old cards to the new ones, 0% clock resets for another 12 to 18 months. Old cards go to zero balance, new cards hold 200K. She hasn't paid a penny of interest, but you can't balance transfer business cards. Some banks allow it directly. For the ones that don't, she uses a workaround. She's been kicked out of using some banks, etc. And she does have to pay a little bit here for being able to transfer back and forth, etc. I find this to be, I don't know if I'm I'm a little biased to say, like, I would never do this, and it sounds so risky, and it makes me feel uncomfortable to even read it. But what is your take on this? Is this like some huge unlock, or is this, gray hat workarounds that everybody should avoid like the plague? Not financial advice, by the way.
This is a nightmare. This gives me anxiety just thinking about it.
Me too.
I feel like this is almost more work than what it's worth, is how I'm
Maybe.
thinking about it. I just think that my bandwidth of my mind would be thinking about this all the time, and this ticking time bomb that is basically going on with the credit cards in the background. This scares me to death. But I mean, if you have the huevos to pull this off, you're braver than me, but I'm not doing this ever. This is crazy.
Never. You're braver than me. And I mean, like he says in here, I mean, I think that he has a service of sorts that is around getting credit for your business. So it's a great intro to whatever he's selling. But I just feel too uncomfortable. I could not bring myself to do this. I see the value for being able to have 200K at your disposal continually, perhaps, if one would want that for your business, etc. I get it, but crazy.
Risky business.
Risky. I couldn't do it. Number one, I don't like looking at spreadsheets, even though one must. And number two, I don't know that I could sleep at night. I don't know that I could do it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, not for me. Not for me, but a very interesting take on, credit for your business. Very interesting, to say the least. Secondly here, Amazon has halted Blue Jay Robotics. And I think we need to look at this thing because, Amazon is cracked on developing AI robotics, using them inside of their warehouse. There is a GIF of this that is fantastical. I mean, look at this thing operate inside of where, look at what it does. Picks it up, moves it here. We've all seen the videos of their 2 armed robots that are picking up packages, moving them around. Actually, there's a chance that we could get access to the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Pflugerville and see what's going on there. I don't want to officially announce anything, but
little teaser
could happen, ladies and gentlemen. Amazon has halted this, and the reason that I wanted to underline this is that Amazon is so forward-thinking. They are rivaling and perhaps surpassing this year Walmart in revenue, even though Amazon doesn't have all the supercenters that Walmart has. They're on the cutting edge of AI, robotics, development, going to space, all the things. This is Jeff Bezos, okay? They killed a darling project of theirs inside of 6 months after having a glorious debut of what looks like the future. They killed the thing. And what this speaks to me about is that they are not precious about their darlings. This is one of the biggest businesses in the world who is growing and thriving and may become the all-inclusive solution for convenience in modern life. And even though they had a great breakthrough that they thought would bring tremendous efficiencies inside of their warehouses, they killed the thing because they realized, actually not a net benefit. I thought this was worth taking note of because I think for myself, if I am excited about something, I want to double down on the thing and hold on to it forever. I don't want to kill my darlings. Look at this. It's so lovable. I worked on it myself. Bezos, not so precious. And I think there's a lesson to take away from this that we all should take a look at, especially as we are developing AI for our businesses, interior tools, etc. I mean, Rok was talking about these as well. Maybe it's great thought at first, but if it doesn't actually turn out to be better performance at the end of the day, so you're not actually saving money, worth killing. I thought that this was noteworthy. What's your thoughts on it, Colin?
I love this. I also love the fact that Amazon today surpassed Walmart in revenue officially. So they just confirmed what you were just talking about. And a lot of businesses fall into this sunk cost fallacy where we've already invested a ton of money into this. We've already invested a ton of time, a ton of resources, a ton of team members. So obviously now we have to make it work. And someone has to be willing to stand in the court in that boardroom and say, hey guys, I just don't think this project works anymore. We need to be willing to kill this thing and move on. This is them still operating like a startup, still operating in that startup mentality, nimble and moving, which is very important. That's probably some of the reason why they just passed Walmart today.
I think that's a good point. And it reminds me of a story that came to me via a friend. They had arrived at a certain level of revenue inside of our business and felt like they needed to move onward to enterprise level tools than what they were used to. I did not counsel them in that direction when they asked my take, but they ended up going that way. The unfortunate thing is that the people tools platform that they ended up going with turned out to not have any of the capabilities that were already baked in to the quote lower grade small business set of tools, at least in their mind, small business set of tools that they were already working with. And that sunk cost fallacy, it ended up biting them in the rear end, and they had to work a long time with that new partner that they were paying more money for to be able to do the simple things that they already had access to. Did they go backward? No, they didn't. They just felt, hey, we got to keep pushing forward here. This is going to be good for the future, and we'll work together, and they'll develop all of these capabilities that we already had in the past. It made me sad, but it is worth taking note. Sometimes the bigger, brighter, better looking solution actually isn't. And it's worth it to save the dollars, kill the darlings, and take a step back so you can go 2 steps forward. Jeff Bezos surpassed Walmart. I think Amazon has provided a great example for us all here.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that story you're talking about is way too common in all orgs. It is someone is championing a product that is way too quote unquote enterprise. They're too in love with the product. We've already spent 6 months on migration. We've already spent 5 months on training the team. We've already attended so many lunch and learns with a new product. Can you do some new reporting and you're just like, oh my gosh, we just needed the old thing. It still works. It's fine.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Let's close out our show for the day with a beloved happening on your side that I know you love. Ollie is acquired by Agrolamin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. For $600 million.
Let's go.
This is another fresh pet food validation in this category. Very significant multiples and opportunities to be bought if one can succeed here. What's your take when you see this? I know that you love this for Sully. Fresh food, lifelong, with you forever. What's your takeaway when you see this?
Well, it's a huge win for the actual community itself because you still want acquisitions to be going down. You can see the multiples that was trading at, which was 2.7 times revenue. Not the best multiples, but it's not terrible. I mean, it's not the, ZERP years where we were trading at 8x multiples and everybody was going crazy and, everyone was buying everything way overvalued. But the key to this was it's, again, hammering a lot of trends where this is a subscription, reoccurring revenue business. It is riding the trend of pets, a beautiful business. There's also a lot of surrounding competitors that are doing exceptionally high revenue. And I don't see any other businesses that would, sell for this multiple this easily. And so there's some categories where you can kind of pick them out. And I think Rok talked a little bit about supplements as well. Another great example where you can get some similar multiples for these types of outcomes. So my, advice for a ton of brands is start with the end in mind. If you want to build a brand that's going to sell and exit, think about some of the categories of these businesses that we're seeing that are selling and exiting, and then just reverse it. Make sure it has all of these things. This is a great thing for the industry.
Start with the end in mind. I'm sure that they would have loved, 4, 5, 10x. But hey, they got the bag. They got the
bag.
I mean, 600 M's, printing fat M's. Okay.
Yeah.
The bag. And I think your point here is validated. If you can slap a subscription on that thing and you can become a winner in a wanted category, there's going to be buyers. There's going to be willing buyers for you. VC money is there.
Yeah. Plus, they were acquired for way more than they raised. And so all of those, all those quote unquote VCs will get paid back. And then hopefully the founders have something to walk away from. Hopefully the employees have something to walk away with. And everybody kind of gets paid.
Get the bag. Well, we appreciate our good friend Rok joining the show from the blessed state of Slovenia in Europe. We also love that this whole thing wouldn't be possible without Seguno and Postscript and AMP. We have some exciting things coming up tomorrow. Sarah Levenger is going to be with us. We need to do some mailbag with her. I think we should put out a tweet and get a lot of questions on her side that we can feed from you guys to her while she is here on the show. And we've got another guest that's coming to us tomorrow. Don't we, Colin?
Oh yeah, we're packed.
I think is it Phil? Is it Phil? Phil Keel?
It is.
Wow. We're jam-packed tomorrow. And we're gonna do hot jobs. We're gonna have hot jobs this Friday. So
we're jam-packed for the next couple of weeks.
Don't miss tomorrow's show. Many thanks for joining us, and we will see you on the other side.